My name is Sanjay Srivastava. I'm our Chief Digital Strategist at Genpact. And my role today is really about helping our clients, corporate clients across the world, these are Fortune 500 companies, their executives, their leadership, their boards, understand the tools and the capabilities that we have around the world today. The big thing we see on the data side, and there's a few things we see on the business side as well, but on the data side is the evolution, the emergence, and now the widespread adoption we will see around what we call a modern data experience. I think in the years preceding and leading up to today, we've had an amazing revolution around cloud. What's been lacking though is we've got this amazing lake house and the capability to bring all this data together, but actually how you introspect the data, how you actually wrangle it, how you work with it. Many of the toolkits have been the same from what we used to use before. And so there's a real evolution that's happening on the tools side. Using AI and other capabilities to be able to manage and wrangle data and engineer the data to be where it needs to be. But two, on the usability side, in terms of how you introspect the data, how you actually code the SQL, how do you actually program the analytics engines. I think one of the challenges we have to really confront is and address is this thing about an answer looking for a question, right? Oftentimes, we've got providers and components and things we hear in the industry and market, and it's like, here's a solution that really worked for us. And then we're like, okay, that's a great solution. Let me go find a problem that solution can address. You have to start with the right questions. You have to start with the right business problems. And I think the first step always is to actually go back to the business problem, the value that we want to drive, and then figure out how you reimagine the process, how do you drive a new experience for your users, how you actually deliver that componentry or that value proposition very differently. Everyone wants to be a data-driven corporation. That's sort of the new buzzword in town, right? To really become a data-driven company, it isn't just about the data, it's about people, it's about process, it's about technology, it's about actually a universal understanding, it's about data literacy. And so getting culture right is super important. And if I were you, I'd sort of really make sure that that's well understood in the companies you serve and work for, that you drive that culture change in a way that you get more people involved. Because if you can get that in place, you can really differentiate yourselves in the industry. And if you can't, there's a lot of hard work that you'll end up doing, but maybe not get all the value that you can get out of it. As you think about the world of tomorrow, the velocity of learning becomes really important. The ability to sort of decode the new stuff, the ability to work on new capabilities and new technologies, the ability to actually put that new learning into play becomes really important. And I actually think that as I think about India overall, I think it's an amazing opportunity because there's a great talent base in terms of size and in terms of demographics and in terms of capabilities. There's a real culture of learning, of trying new things, of experimenting with new ideas, right? So you've got these two fundamental drivers of, I think, value. And then what ends up happening is, at places like this, we get a set of like-minded people, and we explore ideas, we exchange notes, we learn from each other. I actually think the opportunity in India is amazing for data and analytics and artificial intelligence. And I see India developing into one of the core centers of excellence in this area in the years to come. And so I am very, very bullish on what you've got going on over there. One of the challenges that chief data officers, that data science professionals, that data engineers face is oftentimes there is no operating manual, there is no rule book, there is no business school you can go to learn how to use data to transform your corporation, how do you use data to become a data-driven company. There's no such thing that exists today because it's all new, it's happening, and we're learning and we're experimenting, we're trying. And if we can pull the right set of like-minded people and we can exchange ideas and learnings and things that have worked and why they worked and how they worked and what can we take away from there and apply to new things, that collective intelligence, that knowledge that we all have, we can pull it together, really is an amazing North Star. It's a great compass for how the work should be. And so that requires a community, that requires a level of knowledge sharing, that involves and requires interaction and the ability for people to come together. And that context, I think the work you're doing at Cypher is amazing because, it becomes a great collecting point of the best minds. It becomes the place where there's a debate and discussion and conversation around some of the emergent capabilities. And there's use cases And there's examples and there's learnings we've had through that. And the more we share amongst ourselves, the more we enable each other, the more I think the field of analytics and artificial intelligence and data is going to get lifted.